Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the new channel, to Ed Talks Film Redux. There will be a video coming out about why this channel exists, and believe me, it's a story that I really wish I didn't have to tell, but it's the story that happened. So that's what we're going to be having. Soon I'll have that video come out. But right now I do have some videos I want to make for starters to get this channel going. The first of which being a Criterion haul, because as you know, it is November, which is the season of the 50% off Criterion sale for the fall. And obviously we have another sale in July, and then there's two flash sales, 24 hours for the Criterion website. But these are specifically, the July and November sales are specifically for Barnes & Noble stores. So I got some pickups, can't wait to share them with you. I'm very, very excited about all of them, but one of them in particular I think is going to be an amazing addition to my collection. It's one that I've wanted ever since I heard about it being released, so this is going to be really great. You can probably hear my dog snoring in the background. And yeah, let's get right to it. My first pickup that we have is The Manchurian Candidate. Now this is a movie I saw like years ago in high school, and let me tell you, I remember nothing about it. There's a lot of movies that I watched that I don't remember. It's been years since I've seen them, like haven't even remotely thought about them that deeply, but this is a John Frankenheimer movie. I can't really remember many other Frankenheimer works which I've been acquainted with, but this is obviously maybe his most famous movie. It also had a remake with Denzel Washington. I'm very excited to watch this. It has Frank Sinatra and Janet Leigh and Lawrence Harvey. It's a political thriller. I really like politics and history and stuff like that, and war. Those things are things that really interest me. So this movie is kind of a kaleidoscope of all those things, and it's a thriller, so that works for me. But I cannot wait to watch this and see it. I actually looked a little bit at the scan the other day, and it looked pretty good, actually. It looked really, really good. It really surprises me how just incredible Criterion is able to restore these movies and make them look just immaculate, honestly. Look immaculate, almost as if they were shot yesterday. It's pretty. Next, we have a film by one of my personal favorite directors. It's a Sidney Lumet film, and it is probably not the one that you're thinking that I have, and that is Failsafe. I really wanted to get 12 Angry Men, but I skipped over it to get this film because I've seen 12 Angry Men, and quite recently, actually. I've seen that movie at least 2 or 3 times now, but I've never seen Failsafe. And it's a movie that the first time I really heard about it was when I was watching actually the special features for my Criterion Collection edition of Doctor Strangelove, where they talk about this film coming out in a similar time and how they tried to sort of hold up the movie legally so that way Doctor Strangelove wouldn't suffer at the box office. Because this film is a very similar plot to Doctor Strangelove. This film was released in 1964. It's 112 minutes, black and white, 185:1 aspect ratio. It's Sidney Lumet film. I have not seen it. I'm very excited to watch it. Usually when I buy Criterions, usually I've seen most of the ones that I buy, because I usually try and buy films that I really enjoy. But I am trying to branch out more and get more films that I haven't seen. And I've actually, in past Criterion hauls, I've got some others that I've not seen yet, or I've maybe seen, but it's been so long that I don't remember it. So it's like I've seen it for the first time. For instance, Sweet Smell of Success. I bought that not too long ago. I also got Edward Yang's A Brighter Summer Day in the summer, and that was a real treat. Such an amazing film. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting. I can't wait to see it. Really cool. Really cool. Starting out with classic movies, obviously, as you can see. Okay, next we have a film that I have seen. Film I very much enjoy by a director that I really hope to watch more of their films in the future. And that is State of Siege by Costa Gavras. This movie I saw, it was either earlier this year or last year I watched it. There was a point in time where I was watching a lot of movies, just a lot of foreign films, and I came across this film quite recently, but I saw Z, and I saw another movie called The Official Story. And it really started off with The Official Story, and then I moved on to those other films. But State of Siege by Costa Gavras, really love the art, by the way. This art is awesome. And if you guys don't know what this is, it's like there's a kidnapping, and there's a guerrilla group, and it's CIA involvement in Latin America and all that jazz. Again, politics, history, war, stuff that I really find interesting. I can't wait to watch this again. It's got a new 2K restoration, so I did look a little bit at the transfer for this. It looked pretty good. There's a new conversation between Costa Gavras and film scholar Peter Cowie. NBC News excerpts from the 1970 kidnapping of Dan H. Mitrione, on which the film is based, and English subtitles, and then an essay. This film came out in 1972. It's 2 hours long. Color, binaural, French with English subtitles. Yeah, very excited for this. I wish that they would bring Z to the Criterion Collection. If I'm going to sit here and talk about Costa Gavras movies, I do wish that they would bring Z to the Criterion Collection, and I wish that they would also bring The Official Story to the Criterion Collection. I think both of those movies could benefit from like having a recent Blu-ray transfer with some awesome special features attached to it. But yeah, State of Siege. Next, we have another political film that I'm actually very interested to watch. It's a very long movie. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's split up into like a bunch of parts though. And that is Christ Stopped at Eboli. I actually tried to watch the first part, but it was too late. I couldn't really like spend the necessary amount of time to get into it. Now this transfer is interesting because this is a new digital restoration, but you can definitely see that there's a lot of artifacts. There's definitely issues with the film itself, with the film stock itself. That's very apparent, and probably so much so that they couldn't really like make it very pristine, but it does look really good, even though it does have lots of artifacts on the film itself. This came out in 1979. It's 220 minutes long. It's color, binaural. It's in Italian, and it's about, I'll read you the back of it because that's probably the best way to describe it. An elegy of exile and an epic immersion in the world of rural Italy during the regime of Benito Mussolini, which is kind of why I picked this up. Francesco Rossi, sublime adaptation of the memoirs of the painter, physician, and political activist Carlo Levi, brings a monument of 20th century autobiography to the screen with quiet grace and solemn beauty. Banished to a desolate southern town for his anti-fascist views, Levi discovers an Italian he never knew existed, a place where ancient folkways and superstitions still hold sway, and that gradually transforms his understanding of both himself and his country. Presented for the first time on home video in its original full-length 4-part version, Christ Stopped at Eboli ruminates profoundly on the political and philosophical rifts within Italian society between North and South, tradition and modernity, fascism and freedom, and the essential humanity that transcends all. Like I said, it's got a new 2K restoration, new interview with translator and author Michael F. Moore, documentary from 1978 on Italian political cinema featuring director Francesco Rossi and actor Gian Maria Volonte. I can't read. Excerpts from the 1974 documentary featuring Rossi and author Carlo Levi. Excerpt from the Marco Spagnoli's 2014 documentary Unico, in which Rossi discusses working with Volonte. Rialto Pictures release trailer, new English subtitle, essay book. So yeah, Christ stopped at Eboli. Next, we have a new movie, a very new movie, a new addition to the collection, actually, that came out this year. It's a film I've seen before. It's a film I love a lot. A film that really changed the way I see a lot of things, and it also came at a time after I had read a book that also changed the way I had seen a lot of things. And that is Kariyoji Fukunaga's The Beasts of No Nation. This film is... Admittedly, I have not seen it in a few years. However, this film has stuck with me the entire time since I've seen it. And I'm very excited to revisit this film and see Idris Elba's incredible performance, see this young man's incredible performance, who I do not remember his name, and, Abraham Atta. Yeah. This movie was nuts when I watched it, and I honestly couldn't believe that a film about this subject had been made with such energy and style and haunting despair. And it really is one of those movies that really helped usher me into where I am now in terms of my journey of cinema. This movie came out in 2015. It's 136 minutes. Color, 5.1 surround sound, 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio. It has a 2K digital master. It would have been nice to see a 4K digital master, but I think this movie was shot on digital, and there's probably some special effects in it that force them to master it in digital, to master it in 2K. But it's got a new audio commentary, a documentary about the development and making of the film, which I really would like to watch. A bunch of things with the actors, producers, cultural commentator, a new interview with the costume designer, trailer, tons of stuff. Very excited. Beasts of No Nation. This is a movie I cannot wait to watch again, honestly. Really cannot wait to see this again. Next, we have a movie in my collection, which I have seen right after I bought it. It was a movie that I watched. And I bought this movie specifically because I'd watched a documentary earlier this year that really turned me on to a specific author personality, you could say. Somebody that I didn't really know too much about, but I was semi-familiar with their impact on writing and journalism, and also their impact on a particular podcaster that I listen to quite frequently. And I just felt it was time to pull the trigger on getting this particular release, and that is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Based on the book by Hunter S. Thompson. It's a film by Terry Gilliam. It stars Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro. It's got a little Tobey Maguire in there as well. It's from 1998, the year I was born. Anno Domini. It's 119 minutes. It's color, 2.0 surround sound, 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio. This movie is insane. And it's exactly what I wanted out of it when I bought it. I was hoping it was going to be nuts. I was hoping it was really going to capture the sort of gonzo style that I heard a lot about, that I heard a lot about and saw sort of excerpts of in the documentary by Alex Gibney, Gonzo, about Hunter S. Thompson. And this movie did not disappoint me. I know it's a movie that has mixed opinions, it seems like, but this movie is phenomenal in my opinion. I fell in love with Johnny Depp as Hunter S. Thompson. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I thought the style was impeccable, and I really fell in love with sort of this drug-induced, alcohol-soaked, just fall into madness in the deserts of Las Vegas. And man, it's just nuts to see something like this, and also just to see its influence. I don't know if any of you guys are fans of The Weeknd. I am not particularly a big listener to of The Weeknd. However, he did release a bunch of music videos, it was either at the beginning of this year or towards the end of last year, that were very much inspired by various cinema, and most of which, the most easily comparable of those references, was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I think fits very perfectly with what I know about the Weeknd sort of character, right? The character of the Weeknd. So this is really great. So glad I picked this up. It looks great, by the way. This has another. That's the other thing about Criterions is I know there's some Criterions where a lot of people, where the transfer has been problematic. I've not come across one of those yet, from what I understand. But this one was awesome. This was really awesome, and it was just a great experience. And I love the Gonzo art and everything like that. I also like the fact that it has a thick booklet. That's something that is very important to me. I like the thick booklets. I like to read them every now and then. So the longer the ones, the better. I don't like sort of the pamphlet ones or the fold-out poster ones, although sometimes they are cool. I prefer this. So yeah, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Next, we have a film by a director whose work I've only ever been slightly acquainted with, but he is a director I would love to get into more. A director that there's even still some plastic on it. A director that I've seen half of one of their films, which I really want to go back to. And that is Pedro Almodovar. And I got All About My Mother. This is a movie that I have not seen. I don't really know what it's about. It's a blind buy. I've only ever kind of seen half of Pain and Glory. But it's from 1999. It's 101 minutes, color, 5.1 surround sound, in Spanish with English subtitles, 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio. It's got 2K digital restoration, supervised by Almodovar himself. It's got a 52-minute documentary from 2012 on the making of the film. That's very interesting. I like to see that. Featuring interviews from Almodovar, Agustin Almodovar, Penelope Cruz, Marissa Paredes, Cecilia Roth, and Antonio San Juan, production manager. Television program from 1999 featuring Almodovar. Tons of stuff. So, and even a 48-minute post-screening Q&A in Madrid from 2019. Yeah, so I'm actually very interested to see this movie. I peeked a little bit at the transfer again, as I always do with a lot of the Criterions. I like to put them in and see what they look like. It looked very colorful, very vibrant. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what this is like. And it's an Oscar winner, and it's a melodrama, which, that'll be interesting to experience. I've never really gotten to be fully acquainted with an Almodovar work, so this is gonna be sick. And next, we have the big grail of this haul. Possibly my favorite Criterion thing that I own. I'm very, very excited to have this. This goes all the way deep into my childhood. This is something that has honestly shaped me as a person for my entire life. It just goes all the way back to a simpler time, simpler time in my life, and that is the Godzilla Showa Era box set. It's weird to even call this a box set because it is so it's so just large and skinny that is it really a box set or is it like a book? I mean, it's got like a spine, and this is my second ever Criterion box set. The only other box set that I have is the Ingmar Bergman box set, which was a phenomenal buy that I got over the past summer. Which I think on my old channel, I think I even have a video for it. That's a possibility. I might not, but yeah, man, I'm so excited to have this. This art is beautiful. As you can see, Godzilla, the Showa Era, which is the films from 1954, which starts with Godzilla, and then goes through 1975. And when you open it up, I have this little slip here. So I'll read you the films that it has that it comes with. There's 15 kaiju classics, as it says. We got Godzilla by Ishiro Honda from 1954, Godzilla Raids Again by Motoyoshi Oda from 1955. We have King Kong vs. Godzilla by Ishiro Honda and Thomas Montgomery, 1963. We have Mothra vs. Godzilla by Ishiro Honda, 1964. Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster by Ishiro Honda from 1964. Invasion of Astro Monster by Ishiro Honda, 1964. We have Ibira Horror of the Deep by Jun Fukuda, 1966. We have Son of Godzilla by Jun Fukuda, 1967. Destroy All Monsters by Ishiro Honda, 1968. All Monsters Attack by Ishiro Honda, 1969. Godzilla vs. Hedorah by Yoshimitsu Banno, 1971. We have Godzilla vs. Gigan by Jun Fukuda, 1972. Godzilla vs. Megalon, Jun Fukuda, 1973. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla by Jun Fukuda, 1974. And then we have Terror of Mechagodzilla by Ishiro Honda from 1975. And this has high-definition digital transfers of all 15 Godzilla films made between 1954 and 1975, released together for the first time with uncompressed binaural soundtracks. High-definition transfers of Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 1956 US release version of Godzilla, and the 1962 Japanese release version of King Kong vs. Godzilla. We have audio commentaries, we have dubs, we have Directors Guild of Japan interview with Ishiro Honda, we got programs detailing the creation of Godzilla special effects, we have new interview with Alex Cox, we have new and archival interviews featuring the cast and crew members, interviews with Tadao Sato from 2011, illustrated audio essay from 2011 about the real-life tragedy that inspired Godzilla. Very interested to see that. And yeah, and then we have this epic hardcover book on the inside that, as you can see, more beautiful art. Oh my gosh, if I don't drop this. Put this right here. Let's see if we can get that more in focus. There we go. Right, so we have all these just awesome, just tons of words. It's like a book on Godzilla with tons of Godzilla stuff in it. Stuff about the movies. Man, that's just so cool. I don't know if anybody saw the new King Kong vs. Godzilla. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I'm interested to see these original versions. I recently watched the 1954 Godzilla. For the first time, I had actually never seen it. I'm actually very excited to see Mothra vs. Godzilla. And Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. That is really awesome art. I'd never actually really seen the original Godzilla film. Let me see. What's that one look like? What's the art that they picked for that one? Yeah, that's just epic. And it was incredible. I watched it with my girlfriend, and we just had a blast watching it. It was honestly probably the best Godzilla film. Yeah, this is just so good. And then this is where it keeps all the discs, like this. This is so awesome. I cannot wait to just dig into these movies. It's going to be incredible. And then this is the back, which I love. Godzilla going out into the water, the iconic, Godzilla just going out into the water. So good. But yeah, so yeah, that's my Criterion haul. Little short story about how I got all these releases. I was going to participate in the Criterion sale this year. I didn't really know if I was going to buy a lot. However, a coworker of mine who also buys Criterions said, "Let's have a buy-off, and we'll see who spends the most on Criterions during the sale." And I think he came out around $148, and I came out around $175. So I won. I get the thinner wallet. However, I do have a lot of great films that I'm happy to add to my collection, especially the Godzilla box set. Again, I cheated my way into getting more movies by getting a box set. So, yeah, I'm just very excited. Thank you all for coming back and seeing the channel. I will have a video explaining why I have to have a new channel now. It's terrible, but it is what it is. I'm willing to work with it. I love talking about movies to you guys, and yeah, I've just got tons of movie nerd stuff. Some videos coming up. I did recently get the hardcover edition of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'll be going over that release and how I feel about it. I have a couple more film books that I bought, like Pictures at the Revolution, or Pictures at a Revolution, a film about the movies that sort of ushered in the 70s in Hollywood, like 5 movies. I did recently get the Kino Lorber release of Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, so I'm going to be watching that and then sort of maybe doing a little review type video about it. I'm looking for a new video essay topic to do. As you know, the last video on the previous channel, I had done a video essay on The Last Temptation of Christ, video I'm very, very proud of. I want to do more of those. I sort of want to focus the channel in sort of more analysis type videos. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this. I hope to see you guys soon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.